the Cone Racing League Round 4, and we are here back at returning to Azerbaijan. Infamous street circuit with many 90-degree corners. First held a Grand Prix back in 2016, then labelled as the European Grand Prix, but 2017 was then renamed as the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and since then has been one of the staples of the Formula 1 calendar. Obviously 2020 we missed it out because of the coronavirus, but looking to make a return in 2021. Obviously we've seen a few car reveals now, namely the McLaren, the Alfa Romeo and the Red Bull. I think those are the only three that have been revealed, and well, the McLaren and the Red Bull were the same. Oh, and the AlphaTauri, sorry about that guys, completely forgot about AlphaTauri. But back on with the game. Azerbaijan, we are looking pretty interesting going into the fourth round here. We have some driver changes. Gavin Poynton and Hold on guys, sorry about that. Gavin Poynton has been switched out and replaced with Piero in the McLaren. In the Red Bull, Kieran is out, and in place of him will be Cole Paradox. And for Renault, Sprunky is out, and Liverpool fan is taking his place for the remainder of the season. So we're going to be interested to see how these new drivers fare in Tier 3. But just getting the stream up now. Make sure everything's okay. If there are any issues, drop it in the YouTube chat and I'll be sure to find them. But apart from that, we're here in qualifying 1 for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Just switch on all the telemetry and the data, and wait for the first cars to come out on track. I can't really... Oh, I see. What is that? That is a Haas. Both Haas's coming out of the garage now. Warrior Huntsman followed by... Who is his teammate here tonight? Krago. So we'll follow Warrior Huntsman for the first lap here. Qualifying 1's always an interesting one because you want to go fast, because you want obviously to get through in the top 15, but sometimes you want to also conserve your tyres, and also strategy doesn't come into it. So well, most laps should be on a soft compound tyre unless you know you're not going to be using the mediums, and I suppose you could set a banker lap. But it's always interesting as well because a lot of people use the first qualifying session as a bit of a practice session, so it's going to be interesting to see. Obviously Baku infamous for having quite a few close walls, very comparable to Monaco in that aspect. Both are street circuits, and both, especially castle section, it is extremely tight through there, and luckily we do see Krago not hit any of those walls on his outlap. But that is a place to watch. Turns 9, 10 and 11, the castle section. Well, 8 through 11 I suppose. But we will run through the track when Krago starts his fast lap. He will be setting the first fast lap of the session, as I'm pretty sure he took over Warrior Huntsman, his teammate behind. And yeah, you can see on the track map that he's... Well, Warrior Huntsman's going to be leaving him a little bit of space. I suppose you kind of want to be behind for the slipstream down this extremely long straight, but in some of the corners, especially in Sector 2, that dirty is really going to be affecting. And on the DRS there, we see Krago in the Haas number 82. Just going to start his lap now, and turn 1, 90-degree left-hand, taken very nicely by Krago there, and the Reds come on one, get out of the way, very nicely done. And another left-hand 90 degrees for turn 2 into the first DRS zone, this short straight into the third consecutive left-hander, which is also the third turn. And then they'll transition into a almost 90-degree right-hander for turn 4, and then yet another little straight. Baku seems to consist of a lot of kind of shorter straights. Turn 5 and 6, this weird chicane section, very tricky to get right. I see quite a few drivers run wide this and just nip their end plate off, but Krago taking it very well. And then turn 7, sorry, that right-hander. And then now comes the difficult part, turns 8, 9, 10. Ooh, Krago slowing down a little bit there, but it's okay, it's only qualifying 1. I expect to see potentially a few crashes there in qualifying 3 when the cars are pushing their hardest, but for now hopefully everything will stay nice. And I'm having... Here we go. Krago gets a... Oh, of course he gets a purple sector 2. He's the first driver. And into sector 3 he goes now. We've got this kind of really fast chicane of turns 18 and 19. And then this kink in the straight is classed as turn 20. And then it's just straight shot to the finish. So waiting to see what the first time in the session will be. And Krago kicks off the session with a 140.3, and how's his teammate going to fare compared to him? 140.428, the two Haas is very close together in terms of pace here, so it'll be interesting to see hopping on with Kogitas. Ooh, no. Yeah, who will be next? It looks like a Red Bull. That will be Cole Paradox, his inaugural Tier 3 race tonight. And, wait, no, that's just coming off his outlap. There is a Renault. Is that freefall? No. Liverpool fan jumped into third with a 140.76. Oh, fourth VFL Faker pips him up with a 140.72. Who is next? A McLaren. Is that Gavin Poynton, also debuting in Tier 3 tonight, and he goes fifth with a 141.5, the slowest of the times so far, but I have no doubt that he can improve that as we're on board with Tomo Tip Top now. Very, very prominent Tier 3 racer just coming down this final straight, initiates DRS, and to the straight he goes. Where is he going to place himself? He jumps himself up into third with a 140.6, very, very competitive tier. And I've just noticed Faker and Liverpool fan, ooh, less than half a tenth off, and Tom tipped up on a bit of a tap with the wall there, but no damage. As Freefall with a 140.4, very close to Krago there in first place. Of course, first place doesn't mean too much in qualifying one, with Kogitas dropping this up into third with the 140.427, a thousandth off Warrior Huntsman, down in fourth place. And who's next is very tricky to keep up, but we did just see Red Sky set a purple sector 2. So looking promising for the Williams of Red Sky here as he's just about to initiate that DRS. Now, is he going to be able to topple the top 5? As he comes across the line, and he does, he takes a provisional P1 with the 139.957, the first 139 of the evening. Part of me is curious whether we'll see any 138s broke, as Cole Paradox pips him out with a 139.7 on his debut for, on his debut for Tier 3. So that is looking very good. Hold on, I've got this wrong. Gavin's in, Piero's in. I've messed something up with the driver lineup. Sorry, that is my bad. I'll find out what I've done wrong here a second. Sorry for the lapse in commentary there. I'll switch on to who will be next. Jacko will be next, quickly followed by JD, so we'll see where those two can place themselves. There's RLH Freshi just starting their lap now, so as I said, it'll be Jacko followed by the Red Bull behind. Obviously both Red Bull and AlphaTauri now unveiling their 2021 liveries, and I've got to admit I am quite a fan of the new AlphaTauri livery. They kind of pulled an Uno reverse on the colours, the blue prominently at the bottom now. As Jacko comes across the line and goes 12 with 141.4. JD JD's going into the pits. I'm not sure what happened. Potentially an incident. And I did see RLH Fretti has retired from the session. I'm not 100% why, unfortunately. But talking of Uno reversing the car liveries, Alfa Romeo have also done the same way. It was predominantly a metallic red car. Now argue that the white is more prominent on the car, and especially on the drivers' overalls. Raikkonen and Giovinazzi in the Alfa Romeos in 2021, and I've got to admit, it is a very good looking car. But McLaren sticking to kind of what we know, what we love. Good livery, bit disappointing that they didn't change it much, but at the end of the day, why fix what's not broken, which Red Bull have been using for the past 6 years. So I suppose I can't really praise McLaren for it and then bash Red Bull, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut about my opinions on the Red Bull livery. But Red Bull did replace their Aston Martin on the rear wing with Honda, so it is a nice little change. And I've got to admit, Honda does look quite in place on that rear wing, so not complaining too much, but would have been nice. We didn't even get a testing livery, so bit disappointed about that one, but at the end of the day, it's not what the car looks like, it's what it performs like. And Forster flying through that castle section there, almost thought he was going to hit the wall. But like I said, turns 8, 9 and 10 are going to be the ones to watch for tonight. That castle section, super tricky section, and we're not going to see many overtake. Well, it's pretty much impossible to overtake this, so if anyone can do it, that is instantly going to be driver of overtake of the week. And driver of the week, I would have thought as well. But Forster now just coming onto that final back straight. Final back straight? Yeah, I don't know. Onto the final straight and coming onto the DRS zone now. And it's just a straight shot to the line now, but as I mentioned before, Azerbaijan street circuit, you make a mistake, you're going to be in a wall. And Forster jumps himself in front of his teammate into 11 with a 140.9. Very good lap. So as of now, Killer J's the driver at risk, but has not yet set a lap. And Dat Roland is the next driver to set a lap. Ooh, getting a little bit squirrely on the exit of turn 2 there, but keeping it in a straight line for the most part. So Dat Roland will be the next driver to set a lap, but A is below the top 15 and B is sorry, I'm having a few technical difficulties here. I can no longer see my screen. Sorry about this, guys. My bad. There we go, we are back. And still on board with Dat Roland, who, as I was saying, will be the next driver out of the top 15 to set a lap. So, Dat Roland now, and then he'll be followed by that guy Drapes and JD behind. So, Dat Roland, sorry, not Killer J. Dat Roland looking relatively confident on his lap right now. Just coming onto that final start-finish straight and onto the DRS. And will he be able to pop himself into the top 5? Dat Roland, one of the fastest drivers here, and he goes 7 with a 140.3, and we see a few 139s popping up at the top there. That guy Draper next, once again, also just coming onto the straight. We seem to catch a lot of cars just coming onto the straight. The straight takes up like almost half the track, to be fair. So, and Draper coming across the line to set. Oh, was that his outlap or did he invalidate? I'm not 100% sure, but JD will be next then to set a lap in the Red Bull, which what you're seeing is pretty much what you're going to see next year. The only difference being Honda's going to be on the rear wing and the Aston Martin down the side is just going to be a continuation of that red stripe. So I suppose not too good, not too bad. But JD now coming on that final straight, getting on that DRS, and he's going to look to outpip his teammate who is already in second. So hopefully a Red Bull 1-2 would be nice. And he goes 15 to the 141.4. That guy Drapes now coming up into castle section, just rounding off turn 7 there. Turns 8, 9 and 10 coming up. Oh, just a little bit of a tap on the wall. Did he have any damage? Helmet matching very nicely with that Williams livery. And yes, I can confirm he is missing an end plate, so that is going to limit his speed in these next few corners. Almost brushing up against the wall there, doing very good to avoid it. And these last few turns, he will lose probably about a tenth or two. But hopefully he can still bump himself out the top 15, bottom 15, sorry, bottom 5. You see just running wide on that curb there. And he might not be able to take this fully flat. Is he going to send it? He stays fully flat and bumps the wall. Maybe it would have been worth a little bit of a lift. And I think he has knocked off a little bit more wing. But if he can just round off this lap. Or is he going to go into the pits? He's going into the pits. So Killer J will be next. Just coming through castle section. Taking very nicely there. Just braking at the top of the hill. A bit of a chicane through that castle section. So you don't have to worry just about hitting the walls, but also sometimes a loss of traction. And we can see, I think that was Jacko getting out of the way. Killer J there, always nice to see some brilliant sportsmanship in this league. To admit, there's not many times where I think an argument really breaks out in this league. Everyone has their moments, but for the most part, really well. Killer J now onto that final straight in sector 3. Onto the final kink that is classed as turn 20. And stamping on the DRS. I think Azerbaijan's a weird one, because you want the low downforce for the straights, but you're also going to want the downforce for like castle section, and there's quite a few slow corners I feel like. But a Killer J with the 141.3 only managing to get himself into P16 and pumping the wall there, that's going to lose him an end play. I'm not sure if he's planning to go on another lap or not, but Warrior Huntsman on a lap now. As Liverpool fan takes provisional first place. Sorry, I did miss that, and curse of the commentator struck Warrior Huntsman just hitting that wall a little bit there. But Liverpool fan with a 139.6 taking up first spot right now, really proving his worth here in tier 3. I know he got moved down from tier 2, but was it just unfortunate results, or does he fit better into tier 3? Right now he's relatively competitive up there at the top. First, second and third separated by less than a tenth of a second. Well, just over a tenth of a second, so very good there. We've got a Warrior Huntsman. Let's see, is he up or down on his time by the end of sector 2? Just coming through the castle section now. Oh, taps our inside wall, and is that an end plate lost? No, it's not. Maybe he didn't tap it, maybe it's just the camera angle as that. And as he rounds out sector 2 by coming down this hill. Oh, very fast on that camera there. Warrior Huntsman. Is he going to improve? 3/10 down on his time. I don't think he can make 3/10 in this last sector, so it's going to be him to watch. He's pretty damn close to the drop zone, so going to be exciting to see. But Jacko on another lap now, just about to come across the start finish line. He moves up to 140.6, 8/10 faster than his original lap. But he is very close to the drop zone. JD, the time to beat with the 140.733. So far, Piero, Killer J, Gavin Point, and Draper and Freddy will be eliminated. Freddy, unfortunately, I think hit a wall and DNF'd, so Freddy will be starting from 20th. But who's up next? Gavin Poynton just coming into turn 3 now, that 90-degree left-hander as our first place runner, Liverpool fan, retiring from session. Obviously quite happy with this lap. Gavin Poynton, will he be able to improve? He is a 10th up on his time in sector 1, so is he going to be able to keep that momentum and improve, or will he make too many mistakes? But look at that, first down to, what's that, 16th, about a second. 15 drivers within a second of each other, that is incredible. Gavin Poynton now on his way into the downhill section of turns 15 and 16. 15 done and 16 just underway now. Just a touch of that inside curb, touch of the outside curb. Use as much of the track as possible. Try and get that speed on the exit. He's going to be... Oh! And his wall, and that is Gavin Poynton out of qualifying 1. He will not be able to go into qualifying 2, and his teammate... Oh! We just see Killer J do the exact same thing. So Draper now, the only one that will be knocked out of qualifying session that has not DNF'd, apart from Piero. That is the curse of the commentator. That is 3 in a row. He just went on board. No, 2 in a row, sorry. Just went on board and instantly. But Draper will be starting 19th. So we already have our confirmed... eliminations. So we see Piero in the McLaren, Killer J in the Alfa Romeo, Gavin Poynton in the other McLaren, Draper in the Williams, and Fretty in the Mercedes. All unfortunately will be eliminated at the end of qualifying 1. Cole Paradox now in 3rd place. He doesn't really need to improve. No one actually needs to set another lap. So if I was them, I'd be saving those tyres, maybe using them as banker for next qualifying session. but might just be looking to take the top spot. He has a purple sector too, so it's just this final sector now. Will he be able to rival Liverpool fans' time? He only needs to improve by about a tenth, 0.11 seconds, and just about come across the line now, and switches second with the 139.684, still about 200ths of a second behind Liverpool fan, and that is everyone apart from Arjako completed their laps. Arjako losing his end plate and is 3 seconds down, so there will be no changes there. So Piero, Killer J, Gavin Poynton, Draper and Fretti all will be eliminated from qualifying 1, unfortunately. But I hope, as per usual, not everything depends on qualifying, and the race is very, very important. So I'm going to take a quick break and grab a drink, and hopefully I shall return in time for the first laps of qualifying 2. And as promised, I am back for qualifying 2. Sorry about that, guys, but who's out first? Is that... It is a Red Bull of JD, so JD will be the first driver to set a lap here in qualifying 2. A 15-minute shootout to see who the top 10 drivers will be, and as usual, qualifying 2 is where strategy really comes into play, because the tyres you set your fastest time on in qualifying 2 are the tyres you will start the race on if you qualify in the top 10. So it's going to be very important to pay attention to what tyres everyone's on. I'm not 100% sure on the strategies here. I've been hearing medium hards, they're on soft, medium softs, but I think, as far as I'm aware, there's quite a few different strategies here tonight. Sorry for the pretty bad commentary, gotta be honest. But oh, sorry about that. That was my bad. I have just accidentally switched off JD. Still on his outlap, but we will follow him through. Just coming into sector 3 now. to start his fast lap in that Red Bull. Rocking the white helmet reminiscent of Max Verstappen. Verstappen having yet another white helmet this year. Very similar design to last year's, as JD starts his flying lap. Turn 1 done and completed. Turn 2 is on its way, and he's keeping it nicely off the walls. Ooh, just getting maybe a little bit squirrely, brushing very close to those walls there. But in that first DRS, so now on the run down to turn 3, the third consecutive 90-degree left-hander. And ooh, tap of the inside wall, but did that cause any damage? Nope, he has still got a full front wing, so lucky for JD that almost really screwed him over. But purple sector 1 to be expected, obviously setting the first lap of the session. Getting a little bit too close to that wall there, losing maybe a tenth. But doing very good. You can cut that corner a little bit there, and JD knows that. And up into castle section now, wanting to keep it off all the walls, swing himself into turn 10 and turn 11. Want to not run too wide to invalidate, but use up all of that curve to try and get as good as the next stage as you can. But JD flying through sector 2 here, coming down the hill now into the heavy braking zone. Left-handed, there we go, and turn, I think 17 is next. Turn 16. This is turn 17, this little right-hander here. Turn 18, 19, the very fast flowing chicane. Go full flat. And then turn 20, this right-hander into the DRS zone. And the first lap of the session on the soft compounded tyres, surprisingly, will be a 140.6. Potentially a banker lap. We do see a lot of drivers out on those medium compounded tyres now. Who will be next at a lap? I think it'll be Arjako. No, VFL figure on the mediums with a 141.4, and Red Sky with a 140.9 on those mediums, almost rivaling JD's times on the softs. That Roland, no. Tomo Tip Top on the soft compound tyres takes first place with a 140 flat as of now. Who will be next? It'll be the Haas of Warrior Huntsman. And he comes across the line on those mediums with 143 flat. Rather slow, I must admit. Makoni with a 141.5. Slotting himself in between Faker and Makoni. Of course, there is a lot of time for changes. People might come out on different compounders of tyres. Cole Paradox with 141.3 on those medium tyres. So himself in quite nicely. Second of the medium runners so far. And who's up next? We see a few more laps come in. Tomo Tip Top taking first with the 140 flat on the softs. And Dat Roland following up with a 143. Sticking very close behind on the racing point of Deluxey on those medium compounded tyres. They'll be next across the line. And Deluxey pops themselves up into P8 with the 141.9, where Huntsman definitely messing up his lap somewhere there. Coggy tyres coming across the line. Third place on the soft tyres with 140.5. Very good lap from him. And of course it is important to remember that some of these soft runners might actually be setting banker laps to just get a lap out there and then potentially look to better it on better tyres. So who's up next? Freefall's up next, just coming now down to turn 15. Very easy to make a mistake and brush the wall there, or even lose traction and go careering into the left-hand wall. Turn 16, relatively simple, can invalidate if you go too wide, but most people seem to find that alright. And then obviously this flash chicane can be relatively tricky, surprisingly. But if you have a full front wing, odds are you're not going to really need to worry about it. As freefall on those soft compounded tyres now, just coming up towards the line to set a 140 flat. 200ths, less than 200ths of a second behind Tomo Tip Top in the Ferrari. The freefall doing very well for themselves. But all of the soft runners are definitely faster than the medium runners, no doubt about that tonight. Arjak on the medium, 77 to 10 to the 141.6. And Liverpool fan now on his lap, his debut for tier 3, coming down to turn 13 and 14, these fast left-handers, and then heavy braking into turn 15 to start the steep downhill descent. I actually think Azerbaijan would be very interesting to see it in a reverse layout. Obviously safety is a big concern, which is why it could never happen, but going up that hill and then downhill to the castle section I think could be quite interesting. But we do actually see VFL Faker already switching his tyres onto softs in preparation to set another lap. Liverpool fan potentially using Warrior Huntsman as a little bit of a slipstream there, and coming across the line on the mediums, he will set a 141.3, third out of the medium runners, 8th overall, but still a good lap nonetheless. But we need to remember that only the top 10 go through to qualifying 3, so we expect to see all these medium runners in the top 10 potentially switch to softs like we've seen VFL Faker and 4-star doing. 4-star not yet set a lap, so he's doing his first lap on softs. I'm not sure if they're going to be banker lap. I'm not sure if these were the softs he used last qualifying session, but he is going quite slow on his out lap. Crago, on the other hand, speeding away on those mediums down in P13, looking to improve his lap potentially. He is flying very fast, not lifting off at all, so looking to continue his lap, or is he going to go into the pits? He will continue his lap. He was just using Marconi as the slipstream, and he improves him to 6th. First of those medium runners on the second lap, really getting those mediums at this time to the 140.7. Liverpool fan low on fuel, and I think he's potentially going for another lap. But our Jacko also, what is going on my TV? Sorry about this, guys. Our Jacko is also looking to improve his time. And this will be his 4th lap on these mediums, getting very close to that wall, and doesn't seem to be able to do too much. Liverpool fan still pushing strong. Is he going to go into the pits, or is he going to stay? I think he's going to stay. Oh, he's getting a little bit, and he's run out of fuel. He's going to have to go into the pits there. So Crago is on an in lap. JD just on his fast lap on those softs now, and actually no, I think he may have just completed a lap on those softs. I'm not 100% sure, but 4-star has yet to set a lap, so we will hop on board with 4-star, using all of that slipstream as he can from, I think that is JD ahead. Potentially called Paradox. No, it will be JD. And the slipstream seems to be working. 4-star seems to be catching up quite nicely there. But this will be his first lap, and by the looks of it, maybe not a banker lap. Looking at the throttle inputs, and he is definitely in hot lap ERS mode. You can see by the number 2 means hot lap mode. So I'm not sure if JD's potentially slowing down, but 4-star needs to be careful. He doesn't want to get the dirty air from JD now. Just checking that everything's okay. There we go. And 4-star setting a purple sector 2, and now the slipstream's really going to come into effect with JD being ahead, and I think that GRS is going to help out even more, plus the hot lap mode ERS, so I'm expecting 4-star to be up there with the 140 flat, potentially hitting a 139. And he's not staying in the slipstream much. JD goes into the pits, as 4-star goes on to take 4th place with the 140.4. And looking back down, VFL Faker on those brand new soft tyres. And just approaching turn 15 shortly. Turn 13 done, 14 done. And now back downhill to round off the lap. But Liverpool found the driver at risk now with the 141.3. He has switched on to the soft compound tyres, so we will be looking to improve. And Faker setting a purple sector 2. Everyone seems to be saying purple sector 2, so I'm not 100% sure how accurate they are tonight. But looking very good is VFL Faker. And what will he be able to set? Is he going to be able to pull himself out of the drop zone? He doesn't. He goes fast as 139.9, and now the track evolution really is going to start to set in as Deluxe moves themselves up into 4th with 140.1. Warrior Huntsman on the medium tyres now. Just going through castle section. Quite surprising to see him on the medium tyres. He must be very confident. Everyone else is switching over to the softs, and we see a lot of drivers coming out on their outlaps now, trying to make a last-minute lap, take advantage of as much track evolution as possible. But Warrior Huntsman going for a different strategy, and is it going to pay off? He is the slowest of everyone time-wise right now. He does set a purple sector 2. I think the time deficit between the soft and the medium runners is just too much, though. I don't think Warrior Huntsman's going to be able to pull himself out. Forstall goes fastest with 139.952, 200th faster than VFL Faker in the AlphaTauri. Warrior Huntsman, will he be able to challenge those soft runners? Unfortunately not. He goes 12th with 141 flat, and everyone behind him now out on fresh rubber. Everyone now using the subcomponent tyres. Cole Paradox in the Red Bull, looking to really prove himself on his Tier 3 debut. And looking pretty good in Sector 1. Is he going to improve? And if he does, by how much? 5/10 up on his time in Sector 1. Will he be able to carry this momentum through? He will stay on board. Is he going to assert his dominance over his teammate JD, or is he going to shy away and become, well, hopefully not, the Albon of the Red Bulls? Cole Paradox just coming up to turns 13 and 14, looking very, very fast. Going to check his delta at the end of Sector 2. Some very nice camera angles around Azerbaijan. Got to admit, it would be nice to have a bird's eye view of car section. And just, yes, Cole Paradox 1.5 seconds up on the soft compound tires, really flying. I think those soft compounds are just so much faster than the mediums. You try and qualify on the mediums here, you have absolutely no chance. There is less than a minute left of qualifying now, as Cole Paradox just coming down towards the line, and he will pop himself up into first place with a 139.7, and that is him out of the drop zone. Krago, the driver at risk, and Makoni in the drop zone, both drivers out on fresh soft tyres. Red Sky, will he be able to pull himself out of the drop zone? And he goes from 12th to the new faster with 139.4, 3-4 retiring from the session. And who is next? It is a Ferrari of Cogitas. From 9th to 2nd with the 139.7, the track evolution really is. Warrior Huntsman returned from session. And who is next across the line? Tomo Tiptop in the Ferrari. And Tomo Tiptop goes and sets a 140 flat. I think that was an improvement. I'm not 100% sure who's next across the line. It's a Mercedes Makoni. Makoni goes second, doing very well to pull himself out of that drop zone, and I think it is the Rebel of JD that would be next up. Dat Roland Deluxe and Dat Roland trapped in 9th and 10th are definitely at risk now. All four of these drivers are very very consistent, and JD pumps up into 5th. Dat Roland is officially out of qualifying. Deluxe is the next driver at risk. Our Jacko goes 12th and will unfortunately be confirmed to be dropped out. And who is next? JD popped himself into 5th place, which drops Deluxe down, and now it's up to Liverpool Fan. Will he be eliminated now, or will he drop his own teammate out of qualifying? This is not very good for the Renault constructors. One of them's making it through and one of them isn't. But which one will it be? Liverpool Fan's going to want to prove himself on his Tier 3 debut and get a good result tonight. So looking at his delta, he is currently less than a second up on his time, and he needs to be a 140 flat. So not looking too good right now for Liverpool Fan. Potentially looking at 11th or 12th place qualifying, as Liverpool Fan now to come across the line and set a 140.5. Unfortunately not able to pull himself out of the drop zone, and it will start 13. Cole Paradox unfortunately, oh no, return from session, not leaving, and that is qualifying complete. So we see Deluxe, Dat Rowan, Liverpool Fan, our Jacko and Warrior Huntsman eliminated from this session, unfortunately. Liverpool Fan just not being able to pull off the same times as his teammate. But that leaves both Ferraris into Q3. And I think that is the only team. Oh, both Ferraris and both Red Bulls will continue into qualifying 3. But every other car will only have one driver, unfortunately. So in terms of constructors, Ferrari and Red Bull already looking strong this race. Hopefully the race can be as interesting as qualifying has been. Obviously, I expect 1 or 2 safety cars, especially with how tricky castle section is, and Azerbaijan is not really the place for elbows out racing, so gonna be interesting to see what happens here. But for any drivers that are watching, just remember that the race is not won on the first lap or the first few laps. It is a battle of attrition, and look at that, from 1st to 15th. 1.5 seconds, 1st to 13th, about a second swing line. It's extremely close. 0.059 seconds from 1st and 2nd there. McConey looking very good here. Red Sky looking even better, just pipping him out. But we don't know. Potentially seeing some sandbagging going on. And all of the top 10 will start on the softs. The only driver to not actually try and qualify the softs this session is Warrior Huntsman, down in 15th. I think the deficit between the soft and the medium tyres is just too great here, and I don't think he could quite put a solid qualifying performance in. And moving into qualifying 3 now, here on the streets of Baku, Azerbaijan. And who is going to take the ballsy move and go out first here in qualifying 3? I expect to see a few banker laps at the start. See the safety car, Bernd Malander's safety car at the back there, and I don't see any movement in the garages as of yet. No movement at all. Oh, there it is, a Ferrari. No, that's a Haas, sorry. And there is a Red Bull behind. The Haas of Krago will be leading the session for now. But qualifying 3 is going to be interesting when the car's going to be pushing. Well, the driver's going to be pushing the cars as fast as they physically can go, and I think castle section really is a dangerous place. I think a lot of drivers may have been taking it a bit easy there, but if there's a time to go as fast as you can through there, now is the time. So potentially might see a accident or two. And I think it goes without saying, huge respect for all 20 of these guys for showing up today and giving it their all on track. Even if you've been eliminated in qualifying 1, turn up on time and set a lap. Just helping out the league in being consistent and being on time. So very good. But just waiting for the cars to do their outlaps now. See Krago warming up his tyres a little bit. Called Paradox behind in the Rebel, I think. Yep, Called Paradox is the driver behind. Luckily we have a bit of a gap between Krago and Called Paradox to switch after Krago sets his lap. The 82 numbered Haas. I've got to admit, the 2020 Haas car is very, very pretty in my opinion. I'm excited to see what the 2021 Haas is going to look like. As Krago just coming at the end of this straight now to set his lap. And why have I not got anything? I'm not going to have the tyres up purely because everyone's going to be on softs. So Krago now coming across turn 2, sorry, or missed out on turn 1, and onto that DRS, looking very, very good. And my voice is flickering up there. I'm not sure why. Krago now turn 3, third consecutive left-hander. I've got to admit, I quite like Azerbaijan myself, so disappointing not to be able to have a run here, but commentating is always a pleasure here at CRL. So might just have to go into Grand Prix mode and play some for myself. And Krago getting a little bit edgy with those walls there, just giving him a little love tap, but nothing too serious, keeping his wing intact, which is always good. And castle section now, the Halo view. Missing both of those walls very narrowly. Ooh, but bumping your right hand wall on the way out. That's going to slow him down a little bit. Not looking too confident this lap. Potentially looking at a banker lap for Krago here. And Freddie in the comments, lost the first challenge. If anyone can do it, mate, it's going to be you. So give it your best shot. And I have no doubt that you possibly could, especially with Azerbaijan. I think safety cars could really spice this race up. And Krago going very wide there. Doing very close not to clip that wall. But flying through sector 3 now. Just to come across the line. And the first time in sector 3 will be a... Wait for it. First time in qualifying 3 will be at 141 flat. And who's next? Cold Paradox coming across the line. Will he be able to beat out Krago? He does by almost about a second. Not even a second, sorry, I'm getting that wrong. 139.9 for Cold Paradox, so 140.3 for Freefall. But this isn't the interesting part of this qualifying session. The interesting part is the end. 4-star coming into the pits. Who's up next? The Ferrari of Tomo Tip Top. Not using that DRS and coming into the pits. What is going on? Potential wing damage? Not 100% sure, but Red Sky next up, and he is definitely not going into the pits using that DRS, and will top out the session with a 139.3 for now. Yet to see any 138s, but if there's a time for it, qualifying 3 is the time. And Kogichaz taking provisional second place with 139.8, 5/10 slower than Red Sky, but remember, some of these guys might be setting banker laps instead of going for their fastest. They might be waiting for that very last second just to get as much track evolution as possible. Obviously, track evolution carries over from qualifying 1 and 2. And VFL Faker pops himself into fifth with a 140.9, followed by Marconi, who pops himself into second with a 139.6, slowly closing that gap to Red Sky now. There is everyone on in laps. Krago gonna come into the pit soon. Tomo Tip Top 4-star and JD all waiting to set their laps, it looks. But bringing it back to real life, F1. Who's excited for some of the other car launches? I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's Alpine next on the 2nd of March. So that's going to be interesting to see, with the obviously the new colour scheme. Not using the black and yellow from Renault anymore. I expect to see, we saw the testing livery, but I expect to see like a blue, white and red themed car. Obviously, I think it'll be inspired by the Alpine A1, the Alpine A110 or A110. I think that seems to be Alpine's biggest selling point. And that blue is a very iconic blue for the company. And Red Sky coming in, but it's just waiting for someone to go for another lap. Unless VFL Faker is going to improve, but I can't see it happening. Seems to be pulling over yet, going into the pits. Faker's going into the pits. Marconi is invalidated, so we'll probably go into the pits. Yep, everyone in the pits now. Oh, but 4-star coming out on a flying lap, giving us something to look at on track. And that Krago also coming out on another lap now. But as I've said before, Azerbaijan a very tricky track. A lot of, well, it's a combination of slow and fast corners, and with the walls being so close, you really can't mess up. Any mistakes will be punished. And unfortunately, we might not see too much side-by-side racing tonight. I think the only places we're really going to see overtakes are in the DRS zones, which is a bit of a shame, but hopefully we still have an interesting race. But obviously, Baku being a street circuit was not really built, but it is the newest street circuit on the Formula 1 calendar, joining Monaco, Melbourne and Singapore. Even though many people don't realise it, Melbourne is semi-permanent, meaning part of it is a street circuit and other parts of it are permanent circuit. It's quite a bit of an interesting track, really. But as I mentioned before, the first Grand Prix in Baku was held in 2016, but it was called the European Grand Prix. And then the inaugural Azerbaijan Grand Prix was in 2017, which actually witnessed one of the biggest upsets of the season. If I remember correctly, I think Daniel Ricciardo won. I think Daniel Ricciardo won that race, and then the next year crashing into his teammate Max Verstappen in quite glorious fashion, I must admit. And yeah, that's all I can really think of for Azerbaijan. But yeah, sorry about that. I kind of wandered off in my own head there. But 4-star is on his flying lap now, setting a purple sector 1, looking very, very good. 4-star, like quite a confident driver. I think he's on the wheel now. Not 100% sure about this tight right-hander now, taking it very nicely. Can catch a little bit more of that corner, but might sacrifice a bit of speed. I'm not the expert here. And oh, just tapping that wall at car section. Looked like he might have lost an end plate, but I'm not 100% sure. Let's check. And yes, he is missing an end plate, so that will cost him. I'm not sure if he's going to complete this lap or go into the pits, but we will stay on board with him just in case. So 4-star, turn 16 done. I'm actually quite interested to see, is he going to come into the pits or is he going to complete his lap? I forgot to check the delta there. Wait, there wouldn't be a delta because he hasn't set a lap. So I think he might go for it. Yep, he's got the DRS on, so he's going to complete this lap. So is he going to pop himself? He pops himself up into P5. Obviously, that broken wing is going to have hindered him a little bit. Tomo Tip Top, fastest in Sector 1. Where's Krago's on this final straight. Will he be able to pull himself up from 8? I'm curious to see where he's going to put himself. Krago pulls himself up into first provisional pole with the 139.2. Amazing lap on Krago there, and Tomo Tip Top following behind. Will he be able to follow in Krago's footsteps and pull out an absolute blinder of a lap? Tomo Tip Top in that bright red Ferrari, which I really don't think we'll see change in 2020. 2021, sorry. Getting my years mixed up now. But I think the only really change we might see is maybe a bit more black. I did like the 2019 spec Ferrari in terms of the black on it. It looked quite nice. I think the 2020 Ferrari was a bit boring. It just seemed plain red. Even the sponsors didn't add too much to it, and Tomato goes A31 40.4. Maybe looking to improve, but everyone is on laps, so you might be looking to go on another lap. There's less than a minute left of the session now, as Red Sky is still in the pit, and I think that is retirement territory now. So who will be next to cross the line? It will be VFL Faker. Needs to improve with the 140.9. He is in 10th place right now, getting on that DRS, and Wiz going to put himself. He pops himself into P9 with the 140.3. And following that will be 4-star, going provisional pole with the 139.2, edging ever so close to those 138. We're currently going through with the 139.2 also. But exactly 100% between first and second place right now. I think qualifying will definitely be a lot more interesting at the end. And Krago letting Cole Paradox pass. Cole Paradox able to set a 139.4 and pump himself up to P5. But I think some people might be going for some extra laps now. And who's the next Ferrari? Kogitaz, P6 with the 139.8. Will he be able to improve? He doesn't, and he sticks in 6th with 139.8. Who's next up as the session is ending now? Freefall, the Renault in qualifying 3. 140.3. Will he be able to improve? He can, well, he can, but not enough to bump himself up. He is in 8th place right now, and it is the Ferrari of Tomo Tip Top, followed. Oh no, they let the Red Bull past. JD now on his lap. But is he going to be able to pull himself further up the grid than 7th? He currently has a 140.1 pole. Time is a 139.2, and a 139.6 is all he could manage up into 6th place. Tom Tiptop coming into the pits, happy with a P10 by the looks of it. VFL Faker on his final lap now needs to improve. He has a 140.3, needs to improve by at least 3 tenths. He goes down 5th with a 139.4. Very good lap from him. Next up will be 4-star, who currently holds pole position. Will he be able to improve? No, he is 5 seconds slower. Marconi's invalid. That is a 3rd place. And Cole Paradox will decide where everyone finishes. And he is in Sector 3. Just... oh, he's let off. I think that is everyone decided. 4-star taking pole position, followed by Krago, Marconi, Red Sky, VFL Faker, Cole Paradox, JD, Cogitaz, Freefall, and Tomo Tip Top. Red Bull looking very good in terms of constructors right now in P6 and 7. Ferrari in P8 and 10. Just not able to pull a lap together. And that is qualifying complete. All 20 cars have completed their qualifying laps. So the next time we'll see these cars is on track. Hopefully this race can be interesting for us. And there it is, confirmed. Look at that, exactly 100th between P1 and 2. Look how close P1 to P4 is. That is insane, guys. And even then, down to 10th, not that much of a difference. Very, very close. P1 to P6, less than 3 tenths. Insanely, I say it every week, insanely competitive. Of course, I did miss last week's race, unfortunately, in Japan. But hopefully we have another interesting one tonight. Expect to see a 25-26 lap race with each lap being 6.003 kilometers long. So it's going to be interesting to see what goes on here. Turn 1 is very, very dangerous if people are not careful, so hopefully everything can keep itself calm. We will have a formation lap, so we will have a chance to get everything ready, but yeah. The Azerbaijan Grand Prix. I think I messed up trying to say that, but yeah, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix is going to be underway shortly. Just waiting for everyone to confirm their strategies, and we will be underway. Hopefully we don't see a Red Bull incident like Baku 2018, although fortunately in this game, if you get punted from behind, you can't really get rear wing damage, so looking alright for tonight. And 10-second countdown has begun till the formation lap. As we see what look to be snow, but is dandelions flowing across the screen, and there we are on the starting grid. So we will run through everyone's starting positions. 4-star in first, followed by Krago, Marconi, Red Sky, VFL Faker, Call Paradox, JD, Cogitaz, Freefall, Tomo Tip Top, Deluxey, Dat Roland, Liverpool Fan, R Jacko, Warrior Huntsman, Piero, Killer J, Gavin Poynton, Fretty, and bringing up the rear will be Draper. But let's get everything up and let's actually have a look. That is quite interesting. So top 10 all starting on soft compound tyres, and then Dat Roland on the softs and Liverpool Fan on the mediums, and then 11th, and then everyone from, I think that's, what's that, everyone from 14th to 20th are all on the hard compound tyres. Excuse me a second while I try and sort something out with my display. Sorry for that, guys. I'm having a few technical difficulties today. My TV is not having the best of times for me, unfortunately. But hopefully these don't persist through the race. And I've accidentally just sent a message to the Discord. That was accidental. Let's delete that. Here we go. back on board with 4-star, the man on pole position. But I think for the start we will actually have a look at position changes to see who our biggest winners and losers are out of the first 2 corners. So you can see each driver just warming up the tyres, and then the AI takes over right about now. You can see everyone going quite slow on the run up to the starting grid. It would actually be rather interesting if you could actually drive into your own starting place, and you'd get a penalty if you didn't line it up properly, like I think Michael Schumacher did back in, I want to say 2006. I'm not sure why I'm saying 2006, but just 2006. But here we see some proposed strategy: a soft hard or soft medium soft. So I think it's going to be interesting to see what's going on as everyone is lined up on the grid. We'll go for the front, see what the battle is going to be like at the front. I'm waiting for those lights now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. Lights out and away we go here at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix for Cone Racing League. And we see, Krago looking for a move on the inside. There are wings everywhere, and that is a spinner. We see Red Sky in the Williams dropping all the way down the grid now, and already virtual safety car. And 5 Tempers, that's a lot of cars very close by. That's going to be a difficult one for the game to sort out. And our biggest loser is Red Sky with that spin. Has practically no front wing there. I'm not quite sure. I didn't quite catch exactly what happened, but that did not look nice for anyone. But let's have a look. I expect to see a few wing changes looking at the back of the grid. Galvin pointing losing 2 positions. But realistically, our biggest losers, Red Sky dropping 11 positions, and then we've got Killer J and Freefall both up 3 positions. Also, Deluxe, he's up 3 positions, and Cole Paradox dropping down now. Oh, we're back racing. Sorry about that, guys. I thought that was a real safety car for some reason. But the top 3, 4-star, Krago and Makoni, not changing places at all. Makoni just using a touch slow overtake, trying to keep up with Krago. There is not DRS yet, but Liverpool fan is having a bit of a... Well, and Cole Paradox just unable. Oh, Cole Paradox with practically 0 front wing. Oh! And there's a bit of a collision. Fretty, very, very aggressive, and has knocked his own wing off, going for an overtake. The 2 McLarens behind, fighting it out. Draper's still back there in P18. Not sure if he has wing damage. It doesn't look like it. Looks to have just tried to stay out of as much trouble as he can. But looking back up the fight at the front, are looking at a somewhat 3-way fight as there's yellow flags in sector 3. Anything going on as Draper going for an overtake on Warrior Huntsman, gets that move done, and Warrior Huntsman is looking to go into the pits now. And looking back up the grid, Arjako on Liverpool fan. Oh, sorry, I missed that, but Makoni and Krago had a battle for the lead, and Krago seems to be ghosted. I think potentially hitting a wall. Nope, but Faker behind. Wait, no. Nope, this is the timing sheets having a bit of fun with me. Is everything... No, 4 stars first. Krago, Makoni. There we go. Everyone's moved up positions. What is going on? Oh yeah, of course, Cole Paradox, Roy Huntsman, Piero and Red Sky all pitting, and I will actually change over to the tyres now. But yeah, those cars that pitted all going on to the medium size, potentially looking at medium now. I'm not sure how long the mediums cost. I think maybe 14. Oh, 13, and Deluxey almost losing it there. Getting a little bit screwed, but luckily keeping it off the wall. Bit of the curse of the commentator there, as Makoni is chasing down Krago now. This slipstream will play a massive effect on this long straight, but I think it depends on who's going to use the overtake. Makoni has more to use, and there's a virtual safe car. Makoni's not going to like that one. And Dat Roland, what happened to Dat Roland? It looks like he's just run wide at turn 50 and caught his right wheel, and that is the first DNF of the session, unfortunately. Surprisingly not at the castle section. And that is 2 virtual safety cars in 2 laps. 3 laps almost, sorry. And we see Freefall coming into the pits. Is there wing damage? Or is this just a change of strategy? No, it is just a strategy change. So, Freefall taking this opportunity now to change tyres, and DRS is enabled. Krago getting a jump from Maconio, it seems. There's a few driver position changes down the bottom, but Maconio's going to want to pick his overtake carefully now, because don't want to be overtaking anywhere nearby. Maybe on the right hander before the castle section, but anywhere near the castle section you're just going to get screwed over. But DRS is enabled, so that will help him out massively on that straight. And Forza not looking too good with Krago and Maconi catching behind, and VFL Faker not far behind that. There's a little bit of a DRS train starting to form now. Oh, and JD just clipping that wall, losing his end plate there in castle section. VFL Faker taking liberties with the track limits there. But these top 3 are who are really watching well. 2nd down to 5th now, I think. 3 cars very close together, and there is going to be a bit of a DRS train. Krago seems to be the biggest loser in this situation. He's not going to have the DRS. Forza are going to be quite happy that these 3 are battling behind. It's going to slow them down. VFL Figure dropping off a little bit. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to go for an overtake. Maconi seeming to get a much better exit than Krago. Krago using our overtake to try and bump himself up. Maconi also using the overtake. And now the DRS. Is he going to make a move into turn 1? Oh, he's going to go for the outside line. Switches off the overtake, switches off the DRS, gets on the brakes, and out brakes Krago. Goes a little bit wide, but he gets the move done. Very, very good move from Maconi there. And now Liverpool fan moving up to place in the pits and sets the fast lap with a 1.6.234 on those fresh medium tyres. But is Krago going to be able to take a sweat back at Maconi? Seems to be backing off relatively early, maybe waiting and biding his time for that long straight. But looking back down, Arjako closing that gap to Freddy now. He is within DRS strength. Oh no, called Paradox closing the distance to Jacko and gets past even before the DRS. So Arjako just going to be left in the dust there. And there are quite a few gaps. VFL Faker on Krago. Freddy sets the fastest lap. But quite a few gaps are forming now. I think Azerbaijan's one of those tracks where you can either have close racing all the way through, or there's going to be gaps forming quite quickly. But we are already on lap 4. Over 5% through the Grand Prix now. No, is that right? Oh, VFL Figure running very deep, and that is his front wing absolutely ruined. That is that's great news for Krago. Krago's going to have the CRS off Maconi now, and Faker's just going to be losing, but he's going to want to watch it. He's going to want to lift off here, make sure not to hit the wall, and just make it to the pits as safe as you can. Deluxey gaining a lot of time on Cogitaz. Does Cogitaz have wing damage? The tyres are really dying off that fast. Cogitaz using up all of that overtake. Deluxey just having an abundance of it. Using that DRS to get close, and I think potentially looking at a move out of turn 3, closing on that gap quite nicely in that braking zone, braking a lot later than Cogitaz and getting maybe not the best exit, but has closed that gap down a lot. But Krago and Maconi, is Krago going to go for a move? He is going for a move, but is Maconi going to defend the outside, or is he going to go for the switchback? No, the track's just too tight, and maybe looking to take a swipe back next lap. The VFL Figure's going to be racing Gavin Point coming out of the pits, and Point is going to get ahead into the braking zone, unfortunately, due to the restrictions of the pit lane, and Draper just losing it to freefall there. Deluxey still on Cogitaz's back, but we'll stumble with Maconi and Krago going into castle section. Maconi's going to be careful not to hit Krago, and Krago, ooh! Not ideal for Maconi. Krago seems to be a little bit all over the place in castle section. That's slowing down Maconi. Oh, amazing driving by both drivers there, not to make any contact between themselves or the wall. But behind, Deluxey and Cogitaz are having a battle of themselves. Deluxey closer to the Cogitaz than Maconi is to Krago, and as I say that, the gaps are changing. Apologies following the scene, guys, but this is quite a high battle. The Mercedes and the Haas both going at it, going onto this straight. McConey trying to keep in that slipstream on the overtake. Is he going to be able to make the move? He gets that DRS, and how is Krago doing? Krago's also using the overtake, but he doesn't have half as much to use. And McConey gets past on board with Krago. Is he going to try and defend? Goes for a late bit, but he has to back out of that as Deluxe gets past Kogataz. Potentially the sauce looking to drop off a little bit now. But will there be a move made into this next DRS? And Krago not quite getting the exit, but look at this. It's like a 3-4 car battle almost. 4-car battle down from 10th to 13th. As we see, who's that Faker peel off and go into the pits after spending only 1 lap on those medium combat tyres. Wing damage potentially? But Ferretti is gaining time fast on Paradox, and yes, that is wing damage. Ferretti looking to make move on Paradox, can't quite do it, maybe looking to make it in the next DRS, and so we will stay on board with the Mercedes is looking to take on the Red Bull, a battle we might actually see in real life next season. Well, this season, hopefully. But Kogataz, Deluxe, Deluxe is just hitting both sides of the wall there, and that's going to allow Liverpool fan to gain a lot of time. Deluxe is lost wing. Oh, ambitious move around the outside at turn 19, no, turn something or other. But very good from Liverpool fan to be able to slip past there. And Deluxe is just going to lose time due to that wing damage. JD on Gavin Poynton. JD on the softer compounded tyres and fresher, so we will have the pace and probably will get past Gavin Poynton on this next straight, losing a little bit of traction there. It's going to mess up its exit a little bit to Tomo Tip Top. Also going to be hoping that Gavin Poynton is going to bring the fight to JD to allow him to catch up. Obviously he is just in range of... Ooh! And Gavin Poynton did just clip his wing there, so that's not looking too good for him. That's going to allow JD and potentially Tomo Tip Top to get past faster than they would have. To see the front runners start to pit now. Force McConey going on to the hards. All, I think the top 5 gone on to the hards now. Liverpool fan is now leading the Baku Grand Prix. Azerbaijan Grand Prix, sorry. And Gavin Poynton peeled away too fast, and there will be no overtaking done there. But free fall on Killer J now in that DRS after turn 3 and before turn 3, sorry. And is not close enough to make a move. There's just too many bigger gaps. Tomo Tip Top loses out to JD there. Not sure what happened. How's the wing damage looking? Tomo Tip Top seems to be a little bit slow. Maybe just biding his time. Looking at Gavin Poynton and JD did move ahead, and Tomo Tip Top again very close to Gavin Poynton there. Gavin Poynton surprisingly not pitting after his wing damage. That's going to be hell for Tomo Tip Top. He's going to be slowed right down now. Obviously Baku isn't really the easiest place to overtake, as Freefall is chasing down Killer Jin. It is a double podium for Renault as it stands, but of course pit stops will make a change to that, and Freefall getting a much better exit than Killer J. We did see Killer J just get a little bit squirrely. Is Freefall going to be able to make a move? Killer J moves to the outside. Freefall's going to go for the inside line, and there's not enough room for 2 cars. Killer J doing very well to keep it off the wall, and Freefall's going to wait for the DRS zone. And Freddy coming out of car section there, still chasing down Core Paradox, and 3-4 chase down Killer J, using up that overtake. Killer J keeping off the overtake, and 3-4 is going to go on the left and make the move, but now Killer J uses a little touch of overtake just to keep himself up and drops himself into the slipstream, but 3-4 has the DRS, so there's not too much he can do. Like I said, gaps all the way down. Ferretti on Core Paradox, he will have the DRS, but I don't think he's close enough to even think about making a move. We'll have a look. But we are lap 8 of 26 now, over a quarter of the way through the Grand Prix. As Freddy still chasing down Core Paradox, as so is Killer J on 3-4 now after he got past. But I think they are so evenly matched in pace across the board here that I don't think we're going to see too many overtakes, especially due to the nature of the track. Looking down Arjak on Moria Huntsman, Warrior Huntsman is on the fresh tyres, but Arjako does have the DRS. Warrior Huntsman has the overtake and is not using it. Is Arjako going to be able to get past? Is he going to go for a dive bomb? He takes the inside line. Warrior Huntsman did try and defend, but Arjako just wanted that inside line. Running very wide. Warrior Huntsman just going off the track, but does defend his position very well. Threatening Cole Paddock just like wandering on the edge of that 1 second kind of margin. Moving up with Killer J, and once again, there's not really too many gaps. Arjako gets back past Warrior Huntsman in that DRS. The AlphaTauri moving in front. Warrior Huntsman in the Haas, just slotting in behind, potentially waiting for the next DRS zone. As I said, that's the only place we really see overtakes. Liverpool fan did make one at the top of Castle section, but apart from that, I don't think we're going to see too many. But 4-star chasing down Killer J, who's chasing down Freefall. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to make a move. Freefall's using up all that overtake. Oh, and Killer J getting very close. Gavin Point getting a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, and 4-star is closing behind Killer J and Freefall. So we'll stay on board with him as we will have the best view of the action. Killer J and Freefall peeling away a little bit now. And on with Killer J. Is he going to be able to make a move on Freefall? Going into the braking zone. No, he is smart on that and he does stay behind. Freefall keeping his same position, but he wants to be careful because now they are under threat from 4-star and Makoni in 4th and 5th respectively. So this 2-way battle is now just transformed into a 4-way battle. So Freefall definitely doing his job, scrubbing Killer J's hards of their grip. But also I suppose Freefall is going to start running out of grip sooner or later on those mediums. Granted they're only 5 laps old, but sooner or later they will run out and the hards will become the superior tyre. Killer J getting very close to the water castle section there. And looking back down. Warrior Huntsman. Oh, and there's yellow flags. Yellow flag in sector 3. Gavin Poynton is having a bit of a spin. And he turned himself the right way and will continue. But this might allow Arjako and Warrior Huntsman to catch up. And Gavin Poynton has absolutely no front wing. Makoni, 4-star and Killer J all very close together. Now Freefall has peeled off. Killer J is just not fast enough to stay in front right now. I think 4-star will catch him. He's using the overtake. All drivers using their overtake apart from Makoni. Makoni maybe just waiting to get a little bit close to their overtake, waiting for 4-star and Killer J to battle it out. 4-star has the DRS, but he just can't get past. Is he going to go for a dive into turn 1? He is quite close. And he is going to go for the inside line. Killer J goes for the outside. Is he going to be able to get the switch back? Unfortunately not. A little bit of a loss of traction there, but very well fought between the 2 of them. And 3 of them. Makoni just biding his time patiently behind, waiting for that podium to come to him. So it's yellow flag, and Gavin Poynton has left the session. That is a safety car. Where is Gavin Poynton? Gavin Poynton is in castle section, and that has caused a safety car, unfortunately. Liverpool found the leader of the race. We might be able to see his car soon. But Gavin Poynton has retired, and that is a full safety car. As we see the car's kind of slowing down now. This is going to play a huge part on strategy. I think the smartest thing for Liverpool fans to do now on those mediums is potentially pit for hards. I'm not sure what he started on. In fact, I'll actually have a check. Medium hard I think is going to be the way for him, unless he wants to switch and go for a... try and drag those mediums out and go for a soft. It's the only thing I can think of. But the others I expect we might see hards, and then I think 4-star potentially might just switch to the mediums. As you see, JD and a drive-through is speeding under safety car. That is the opposite of what we want. But a Liverpool fan is going to be the decider, I think, of what happens here. Is he going to go into the pits? He's moving over, kind of centered on the track. He is going into the pits, and what tyres will Liverpool fan put on his car? And is free fall. His teammate is going to fall. Oh no! This might be a double stack for the Renaults. So Liverpool fan comes into the pits. Switch to those medium for hards. Free fall. Oh, just held up a little bit there. Not too smart from the Renaults, but nothing really they could do. I think that a little bit of time is better, and Piero has left the session. McLaren not having the best of races here, but now 4-star retains the lead of the Grand Prix. Marconi following. Liverpool fan comes out in third, followed by Killer J, who's just put on fresh mediums, followed by Freefall, who's just put on fresh mediums, and everyone else who's pitting, I think, either picking the medium or the hard tyres now. Quite a few drivers in the pits. Red Sky pitting a lap earlier is whizzing around trying to catch that safety car queue. Burning that overtake, I'm not sure if that's a smart thing. I'm not sure if you'll be able to get that all back by the time the safety car ends. But lap 11, we are under safety car conditions. But for anyone that's watching that isn't driving, how is everyone doing on this fine night? I'm not quite sure what to say with safety cars. Safety cars I find quite boring. So, I'm not 100% sure what to say. Racing Point equals pink. Mercedes equals black. Renault equals yellow. Alfa Romeo equals white. And red. Haas equals grey. Red Bull equals navy. Williams equals white. AlphaTauri equals dark navy. And McLaren equals orange. That is your pro F1 tips from the DNF King himself. Identify car colours and you will win Grand Prix. But in all seriousness, I have no clue what to say, so we'll try and find some interesting facts about Azerbaijan. The current lap record is held by Charles Leclerc in 2019 with a 1:43.009. Let's see what our fastest lap is here. How do I find that out? Here it is, a 1:43.3. So we're not in Charles Leclerc territory yet. Still got about 3-4 tenths to shave off. But that safety car I think really shook up that race. Unfortunate for the McLaren boys, but these things happen. I think it's just trying to recover from it next race. A season isn't one race, so going to be interesting to see how this one finishes up. Lap 12, I wouldn't be surprised if we see the safety car come in this lap, potentially maybe the next lap. But as we see most cars now doing the left-right kind of squiggling, trying to heat up those tyres, especially on those hards and mediums. They need a bit more heat put into them. So hopefully this race can be underway again soon. We are still waiting for our Jacko and more husband to catch up to the pack, but I think it might be coming in this lap, hopefully. Come on, Kubases. You know you want the safety car to come in. No? Ah, that's a shame. We will spend another lap under safety car conditions, unfortunately. But that just gives us a bit more time to chill out, a bit more time to relax. And if anyone's watching, let me know what is your favourite car livery for the 2020 season. Next season doesn't count because we haven't seen all of the liveries revealed yet. But I have got to admit that 2021 Alfa Romeo livery. Whoo, that is a very good one. And I'm not sure if many people saw the Mercedes teaser, but that's also looking pretty cool from that tiny little teaser that we saw. I'm hoping we do see a few more livery changes though, as much as the technical parts of the car can't change. I mean, the livery they have complete freedom over, so hopefully. Like, I'm a little bit disappointed in McLaren. Like, there are a few changes on the McLaren, but like Red Bull, I know it's iconic, and like, if it's not fixed, if it's not broke, don't fix it, but come on, Red Bull, you can do better than that. Your graphic designer is literally being paid to copy and paste. I can do that. Red Bull, you want to hire me? But either way, enough of moaning about real life F1 and back to the race, because after this the safety car should be going, and we do actually see a few more drivers with penalties. I have missed that, sorry. So we see Tomo, Tip Top and Deluxey both with 5 seconds, and then obviously JD does have his drive through. So gonna be interesting to see how that one plays out. But not long now, and the safety car will go in, and we will go back to racing. Sorry for the lap from commentary, I'm still waiting for the message to pop up. Come on. There we go, safety car is confirmed coming in this lap. The safety car will return back into the pits. So now it's up to 4-star to control the pace. You don't want to be accelerating and then braking though, mate. Just want to keep it at a nice steady speed, allow the safety car to go into the pits, and then we can all resume racing. So I think I'm going to be on board with Makoni to actually see how this is going to go. 4-star warming his tyres. Makoni's going to want to try and just pulling out third gear, but he doesn't want to shift at the moment he starts accelerating hard, because you will spin. And 4-star is gone, and Makoni unfortunately not being able to grasp it. Liverpool fan keep within. Killer J getting a decent start, but 4-star's just pulled away as Cogitaz has. Oh, very close to Makoni and 4-star there, and Makoni's gone very, very wide and lost multiple positions. The Renault's battling it out. Liverpool fan close to Killer J. There's a lot going on right now, sorry guys. And this is a repeat of the start. There are a lot of cars close together on street circuits like this. It is very, very dangerous. Tomo tipped up on JD. He's going to have the inside line, and he is ahead before the corner. I think that is the position sealed. But Draper, oh, Crago in a thing. JD going very wide on that runoff down there. Now has to try and spin himself around, and there's a lot going on here, sorry guys for missing a little bit. And there is the yellow flag in sector 1, and that is JD trying to right himself in the wrong. Oh, Cargo and Temp took again a bit argy-bargy, but nothing too bad. Killer J up into second place. What an absolute legend. Killer J absolutely destroying in these past few races. Liverpool fan close behind, and his teammate also close behind, and Liverpool fan running a little bit wide. That's going to allow his teammate to get past. His teammate is on the soft compound tyres, so Liverpool fan I think is just going to let him pass by, and Killer J will be chasing down 4-star, just waiting for that DRS to be activated. Deluxe losing to Arjako, and there is a collision behind. Who was that? I think end plates are flying. There's a Red Bull missing an end plate. There is a Haas missing an end plate, I think. Yes, the Haas and the Red Bull are both missing. No, it is just, I saw an end plate fly. I think called Paradox. Called Paradox missing his right end plate, I think. But look at that. Tom Tip and Quago going side by side on board. Oh, Arjako wanted to get involved. Through a Red Sky just behind, and they are going through wide. Oh no, the Haas backs out. Quago going into the pits. Fudra's going into the pits now. As oh, Jack going weaving a little bit there. Oh, and Tommy Tip Top does tap Jacko in the left, but I don't think there was any damage, so I think that is all good. As Draper looking to overtake, but he's going to be able to get this double overtake done, and he's going to go for the inside line on Makoni. There's a bit of a squeeze. Makoni taking that wide line, defending his position well, but the inside now turns to the outside, so Draper has to go around the outside, slows down and just causes contact and loses the position to Fretty again. Koita's looking to sneak up. Draper will have the inside line. Freight just slowing Draper down the inside, turns to the outside. Koita's giving a little bit of a push, and don't think no harm, no foul there. I don't think. Liverpool fan trying to catch up to his teammate. That mistake did cost him quite a bit. But this forward battle, very interesting. Draper, he's going to want to back out before the castle section. Smart man. Trying to go for a movement in that castle section is only ever going to end in tears, because usually 3 doesn't go into 1, but in that 2 does not even, 1.5 doesn't even go into 1 there. God forbid if the cars become any wider, they will not fit. But this is a pretty interesting battle going on. We see the 4 cars coming down the hill, the 2 Mercedes, the Ferrari, followed by the Williams of Draper. Mercedes looking very good in terms of construction, and so is Renault. Renault doing amazing this race. With only 11 laps remaining, 3rd and 4th, with 3 lap all times. I think both in contention for a podium. As free fall on Killer J, and DRS is enabled this lap. Free fall going to take the outside line. Killer J has the inside. Killer J running a little bit wide. Free fall doing well to avoid him. Fake again past Tom with Tip Top, and also looking to get past his own teammate. I don't think he's going to be quite able to do it potentially in the next DRS zone. Now looking back up with the Cogitaz, catching up to Marconi. Marconi, just that mistake at the safety car restart cost him a lot. As JD moves past down to the bottom, they both go into the pits. I think if you pit now, it's mediums to the end. I think mediums can last 10 laps. Not quite sure what the strategy is. That's safety car. I think either messed a lot of people's safety cars or played to their strengths. But I think we're going to see that at the end of this race. But for now, we will actually check. Most people made 1 stop, a few 3 stops, and not really any penalties because they've all been served. But our biggest winner, Killer J at 15 positions, Freddy at 14, Draper at 12. There's a lot of really good driving here, but unfortunately Krago losing out all the way down in 15th from 2nd. So not having the best of times here, but as usual, anything can happen, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him move his way back up, especially if there's a safety car, a virtual safety car. I think if you can alter your strategy correctly and have that play out to the end, it can be a really strong point. But 10 laps remaining now, and free fall on Killer J. Not using that overtake, but Killer J has the DRS and the overtake. Free fall is going to go for the outside line. Killer J giving him a bit of a squeeze. Free fall slowing down that extra amount just to make sure there's no contact. Just try and preserve his wing. At the end of the day, 3rd place is better than no points. And looking down with the Cogitaz on Draper. Looked to line that move, realised not going to really make it, and maybe in this next DRS zone. But Draper also has the DRS on Marconi. Marconi flying away there. Marconi also having the DRS on Ferretti as well. And Liverpool fan just not able to catch up to his teammate, Killer J and 4-star. Will Killer J be able to get his first win, or is 3-4 or 4-star going to take it away from him? I think for these drivers now, it's just about keeping it cool, taking it to the end of the race, and I think 4-star still needs to pit, so I think Killer J is in net P1 if he decides to take these tyres to the end, which is going to be a push. Can mediums last 14 laps? I'm not really sure. But it will be interesting nonetheless. And that is the first time I've ever been made aware that Alfa Romeo is sponsored by Husky Chocolate, similar to the way McLaren are. Look how much faster these cars look on the TV cam. But Freefall is pressuring Killer J now and has allowed his teammate in the Renault Liverpool fan to catch up. So Freefall and Liverpool fan are going to... Hopefully there's a few team orders in place. I don't know about everyone else, but for myself I always picture constructors as more important than drivers, championship wise. But each to their own, I suppose. And I think Liverpool fan just having that DRS is going to help him out a lot now. It's going to take a little bit of pressure off those tyres. And Killer J and Freefall both moving to the left. Liverpool fan staying on the right. Just doesn't really want to lose the time by moving too much. And why should he? In all due respect. But look at this, a 4-car battle for the lead now. I'm sorry, I'm missing things. Fretty is pitting, going on to fresh mediums. But his forward battle is looking to spice up sometime soon. As Draper is catching Marconi at a relatively fast pace now. Marconi just peeling away from the top 4 there. But surprisingly, we haven't seen too many penalties. But I I guess when there's walls as the track limits, you're a bit more determined to stay away from them, stay on the track. But 4-star doing amazingly to keep these 4 cars behind now. But look at that, apart from these 4 battling, it just seems to be gaps everywhere. And Liverpool fans just dropping off again. Those hards just still a little bit slower than the medium tyres, I think. I think they are slowly starting to catch up. But those hards just gonna wanna give it like 2 or 3 more laps. Those hards are slowly gonna be faster than mediums. But Jay, Freefall and Liverpool fan are all battling up pretty hard on it, especially Freefall. Looking to make some ambitious moves. Oh, very nicely through there, using their overtake, and Killj gives us a little bit of a squeeze, but there is enough room. Very competitive racing, and Freefall having all of that momentum might actually be able to take the lead of the race. Gonna go for the outside, carrying a lot of speed there. On the brakes, into first place temporarily, and he gets the move done around the outside. And Killer J almost getting the move done, going into the braking zone, has the outside. It's going to be a wall if he goes too wide. A little bit of a tap on 4-star, and he moves up into P2. But 4-star not giving up yet. He is using his overtake. Killer J will be on the outside again and braking a lot later. Oh, and there's contact between 4-star and Killer J, and that has allowed Liverpool fan to get past yellow flags in sector 1. And unfortunately, I think that is wing damage for 4-star. And what about Killer J? Does Killer J have wing damage? I think he is missing an end plate. Both Killer J and 4-star are missing an end plate. Last lap, Draper get past, and I didn't realise McConey lost the position to Draper. That is my bad. McConey now looking to make a move on 4-star. Gonna have to wait till after the castle section, buddy. But Killer J looking to catch Liverpool fan, and that's allowed Freefall to get past. There is now a Renault 1-2. Renault looking amazing for constructors right now. Look at this, and McConey on 4-star. Unfortunately, 4-star with that broken wing just doesn't really have too much of a chance, especially through that fast sweeping chicane onto the straight. But Corgitaz is also going to be looking to get past as well. Killer J right on Liverpool fans' tail on into the DRS. Who's going to get the better chicane exit? Ooh, Killer J just tapped in that wall, and I think I saw a bit of end plate there. Yep, definitely lost an end plate, and he's coming into the pits to change that. And I expect softs to the end now, I would have thought. I think the softs can last 7 laps. So that is Killer J dropping down the order in the pits. I am really, what's he going to put on? Yep, as I suspected, softs to the end and a fresh wing, and he should be absolutely flying now. Draper on Liverpool fan. Draper in that DRS, not close enough to make a move, and Liverpool fan on the hard tyres. So slightly slower, but I think now in the late stage of the race, Liverpool fan definitely doesn't have to pit. So I think Liverpool fan will probably keep that position and maybe even make it up to his teammate. He is slowly gaining time on his teammate. But then Draper is also gaining time on him, so not quite sure what's going to happen. And hold him down the grid for a little bit a second. Krago, Core Paradox and Killer J now all in a battle. Killer J, I expect to peel away from them a little bit, being on those fresh soft compounded tyres. But surprisingly, the grid is all still relatively close. Excuse me for that one. But they're all still relatively close. Killer J looking to make a move on JG. Coming back with a vengeance, he wants to make the move, and he's going to have to wait till after castle sack to make the move here. Is not smart, and Killer J knows that. And JD ever so much slower than him on those used mediums, and Killer J gets past into turn 13. And who is up next to be spotlighted? Draper! Draper on Liverpool fan, he will have the DRS, he's burning off their overtake. Liverpool fans also burn off their overtake, neither of them have much left, and Liverpool fan has dropped down into 3rd, but maybe looking to take the position back later on in the Grand Prix on those hard compound of tyres. But Corgitaz and McConey side by side into turn 1. Oh, very close, and McConey defends his position very well there. Who's up here. Liverpool fan trying to get back past Draper, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. Arjack and Freddy trading positions. And Corgi is trying to get that position back on McConaughey, but like I said, I think it's just going to be make a move in that big DRS zone at the back. But Freefall absolutely running away with this now. But slowly, actually, I think Draper is catching up with him, dragging Liverpool fan. But the Renault's still looking good for double podium at the very least. As Krago drops at the bottom, going for a soft common tyres now. And there are 5 laps left of the Grand Prix. As Krago gets a 5-second time penalty for crossing the pit lane exit. That is not very good. Sorry, it's just Rakogita's now looking to make a move on McConaughey in on this straight. I think this might be the part now where the hards are slowly gonna get better than the mediums, but McConaughey's hards are a lot older than Cogita's medium, so possibly relatively similar in grip terms now. And Liverpool fan just peeling away from Draper, those hards still not faster than the medium tyres. As Krago retires from session, and what is that? That is a late safety car. And where did Krago retire to? Is Krago retired on track? Wait, no, Krago's a Haas. I am not. Oh, Krago has retired. Is it at the end of the chicane? I think it was at the chicane. I'm not quite sure. Sorry. That is my bad. I didn't quite catch that one. And now that has triggered a lot of people to pit. And I think it's going to be softs to the end for a lot of people now. But I'm excited to see what happens with these front runners, because they just missed the pit lane. So actually that's good for all these people from 10th and lower, because they will be able to pit. And obviously Freefall, everyone's going to be under the safety car delta now, so it's going to be interesting to see where the drivers come out. Is Liverpool van going to be able to come out? The strategy is McConaughey gets a drive-through penalty for speeding on the safety car, and that is his race gone to pieces, unfortunately. Which means I think we're only going to have 2 more laps of racing. 2 safety cars. Surprisingly, no one binning it at the castle section. And they're on board with Freefall now. Oh, and is that rain? I think that's a little bit of rain. Everyone's going on softs. Is anyone going to chance the intermediates? This adds a lot. This changes a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if we see 1 or 2 drivers try out the intermediates, because by the time the safety car ends, it's going to have started raining properly. But Freefall staying out on those mediums. As Draper comes in, Liverpool fan comes in, McConaughey comes in, Corgitaz comes in, Ferretti I expect to stay out. Unless they're going to switch to Inters. Yes, Ferretti says I don't expect everyone behind us out. Apart from perhaps Cole Paradox. And McConaughey is first to... Oh! And these drivers... So we see Draper and Liverpool fan on the softs, and then McConaughey and Corgitaz on the intermediate. So this is going to be very interesting to see how this plays out now. McConaughey and Corgitaz have either absolutely pulled a blinder, or they have just screwed themselves over. Faker also hopping onto the Inter, so is 4-star. Red Sky's going onto new softs. As I think Jacko, JD, Warrior Huntsman all potentially going onto the intermediates. See a few drivers pitting now. Deluxey pitting. Everyone seems to be going onto the Inters now. I do think that by the end of this safety car, these slicks aren't going to be the tyres of choice. So Liverpool fan and Draper, I think, really made a bit of a mistake there. I think they should have gone for the Inters. Same with Warrior Huntsman and Tom Tiptoe. I think that the moment you should have saw... If you see rain at the start of a safety car, I usually pick the Inters, just because even if it's not, it's only 1 lap until it isn't. I'd rather take the free pit stop. but I'm not sure if that's the correct thing to do. Either way, we'll see how it goes. There might be a few more slides in this final part of the race, though. Lap 23 or 26 under safety car conditions. So we will only have 2 laps of racing at the end of this Grand Prix. Because I cannot see the safety car coming in this lap. Although it is possible, and I think that's an interesting shot right there. Seeing the cars on the one side of the track and the other. But Freefall still in the lead of the Grand Prix. I think his 11 lap old mediums are the ones that are going to struggle the most at the end of this. I think he probably should have pitted. Especially now that it's where I think the Inters would have been ideal for him. Because he's going to lose grip from just having one tyre. And he's going to lose even more grip from having the wet. This is either going to work out really well or it's going to ruin his race. And I think both Renaults being on the slick tyres might have just ruined their chances at a double podium. Either way, expect to see the safety car coming in this lap as it is so late. Jacko making a late call onto the Inters. Of course, you do get points all the way down to 15th position in the Kona Racing League, and it is pretty dark on quite a lot of rain, so I think Inters were the right call, and I think some of those slick drivers are slowly starting to realise it now. It's surprising how fast that water can go down. As Jacko's left the session. I can try and invite him in. Excuse the blue screen. Underscore Jacko 1878. But the safe guys in this lap, so I've got to try and get this done quick. There we go, I have invited him, and unfortunately, luckily I haven't actually missed anything. So, Freefall, sorry, is still leading, and there we go, the safety car restart has happened. And, let's see, oh, I'm a bit tangled, sorry guys. And Cogtaz moving past Draper. Draper moving all the way down. Did he spin? Is Draper a spinner? Oh, there is a lot of cars and there's a lot of wing damage for someone. I think Liverpool fan. Big lose there with wing damage. I think these Inters definitely are gripping a lot more than the slicks. Cogtaz moving past. Oh, almost past Ferretti. And oh, we have a spinner. Marconi spinning. And that's going to allow Cogtaz to move up in second place. Freefall up into first. And I think the mixture of slicks and Inters is really, really wrecking havoc. I'm on the grid right now. Killer J looking to move past Ferretti. I'm not sure who to really watch. A very, very intense end to this Grand Prix. And McCunny getting 3-second time penalty. And there is absolute carnage. Look at this, guys. Come on. I know it's wet, but come on, guys. Be a bit more careful. I think on board with Faker is the best way to try and view all of this right now. Into castle section, watch the cars go. It's Marconi and Freefall having switched. I think as much as Marconi had that spin, I don't think he came off with a little bit of wind, and I don't think it's worth changing out. And those Inters really are the tyres to be on. The Inters definitely are. And Freefall chucking away that lead by not pitting onto the Inters. Oh! Yep, and that is a example there. Just no grip and into the wall he goes. So, who is close? VFL Faker. Look at this, a cluster of 4 cars, and it's just not going to end well. Moves past Fretty. Can't speak. Oh! And Deluxy, and there's just wing damage left, right, and centre. I guess wet guys, but come on. Oh, Deluxy has no front wing. Killer J return from the session. What is going on? With 4 stars, he's going to be able to make a move on Draper. He has the inters, and I think they have the superior grip. And Draper runs deep, and 4-star with that amazing switchback. A lot of position changes, a lot of pitters. A lot of people are running wide at turn 1 as well. McConaughey's just come out in P6. I think, did he just pit? I'm not 100% sure what happened there. But McConaughey has made it past Tomo tip top. And the gaps are all over the place. It's VFL Faker now. Looking to make a move on Tomo tip top. Those slick tyres really just not sticking to the ground at all, and McConaughey got past so easy. And I think Faker's also going to get past this. Yellow flags in sector 1, as there seems to be a spinner. Oh! Thank God for ghosting there. But back up with Faker, and he just couldn't quite make the move there. I think he's going to have to wait till after the castle section again. As McConaughey looking for a move on Draper, he's going to be able to get past for the castle section. Yes, he's, I think, Draper backed out that, knowing that those soft tyres just don't have the grip. Faker moving past Tomo tip top. Tomo tip top into the wall behind. And Draper also DNFing. Oh, Draper heavily into the wall at castle section there. That is our first DNF at castle section for the night. And this wet weather is wreaking absolute havoc in this yellow flag sector 2. Cole Paradox and his teammate JD. Oh, Draper's car like wedged in the wall. That is not a nice crash at all. There are gaps all the way through, and I think people are just waiting. Was that a virtual safety car? I'm not sure. Liverpool fan moving to 13. And Cole Paradox just sticking to the back of his teammate. I can't see. Oh, and sorry, Cogtas has gone on to win this race, followed by Red Sky. 4-star taking the last podium position. McConaughey now coming into the pit for a 20-second time penalty for an unserved drive-through. So that's going to drop him down a lot. VFL Figure takes 4th. Warrior Huntsman takes 5th. McConaughey takes 6th, I think. No. 3-4 6th. Tomo 7th. Deluxey 8th. McConaughey 9th. Fretty 10th, Cole Paradox 11th, JD will be 12th, Liverpool fan 13th, and that was one intense and confusing end to the race right there. Sorry if I missed anything there, guys, there was a lot going on. What an absolute awesome Warrior Huntsman, driver of the day. But let's wait for the results to come through. And look at that, Ferrari on the top step, Williams second step, and Racing Point third step. Our winner for the evening is, I can't remember. Kogitaz taking the win, followed by Red Sky in the Williams, and bringing up the last of the podiums is 4-star in the Racing Point. VFL Faker, Warrior Huntsman, 3-4, Tomo Tip Top, Deluxey, McConaughey, and Fretty, rounding out the top 10, followed by Cole Paradox, Liverpool fan, JD, and Jacko, bringing up the last of the finishers. Unfortunately, we saw that guy Draper, Killer J, Crago, Gavin Point Imperial, and Dat Roland all DNF this race, unfortunately. And that has been the Azerbaijan Grand Prix here at the Baku, the city streets of Baku. And what an interesting race that was. A lot of action towards the end there, and I think we might see a fair few reports, unfortunately, but that wet weather really did spice things up with the slicks and the interrunners, so that does just about round us out for the weekend here at CRL Season 3. Thank you all very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next week.